Yes, in previous class, we discussed about class A amplifier for the maximum power conversion efficiency. Then we started class B amplifier. Okay. So in class B amplifier, we discussed the circuit diagram, then transfer characteristics. So next we'll move on to the power dissipation. Okay, power dissipation and power conversion efficiency for the class B. Then we'll move on to the class A stage, then class C amplifier. Okay, that complete the model number 3. Okay. First, to take circuit diagram of the class B amplifier. Okay, in class B, see here they have taken two transistors, which are those NPN and PNP. Okay, so NPN and PNP. NPN for what here? For positive voltage. PNP for what here? Negative voltage. Okay, so we are making a series connection for the NPN transistor and PNP transistor in order to make the full cycle. Okay, class B, what is the output here? Only we'll get a half cycle. Okay, class B will get only half cycle here, that is 180-degree cycle. But if you use the two transistor like NPN and PNP, that is in series here, we'll get a full cycle. Okay, from the class B, we are making a full cycle by using the two transistor. Okay, that is in series. The main drawback is what here? We'll get a crossover distortion. Okay, we'll get a crossover distortion. See here, once you get the positive cycle here, okay, you'll get a delay. Okay, once you get the positive cycle, you'll get a delay. Why you're getting delay here? Because when there is a switching from NPN to PNP here, okay, it will take some time here. Okay, that time you can call it as a delay. Okay, so this one is the crossover distortion. Means when there is switching from positive cycle to negative cycle here, there is some kind of delay. That is the crossover distortion. That you have to eliminate. Okay, for eliminating again, there is one more circuit here. In syllabus, they are not given here. You have to take one more transistor, not adjust the current and voltage. Okay, from that you can avoid the delay. Okay, in syllabus, they are not given that one. So next, you take power conversion efficiency. Okay, power conversion efficiency means you want to take output power divided by input power. What is output power here? AC. What is input power here? DC. Okay, we take a plus VCC and minus VCC, right? Plus VCC for what here? NPN transistor. Minus VCC for what here? PNP transistor. So you take output power, that is AC here. So for that, you can write the equation for the load power 1/2 into V0 square divided by R. Okay, that is V0 square RMS you have to express here. Then come for the input. Okay, input of the each transistor. Okay, they have taken two transistors, right? PNP separate, NPN separate. So for that, you take minus VCC plus VCC. So each transistor power is how much here? 1/pi. Okay, into V0 divided by RL into VCC. Okay, suppose if you combine both transistor power here, so what is the equation here? 2 divided by pi V0 by RL into VCC. Okay, then substitute in efficiency equation. What is the efficiency equation here? Total output power divided by total input power equation. Okay, what is total output power equation here? 1/2 into V0 square divided by RL divided by 2 pi into V0 by RL into VCC. That should be equal to pi/4 into V0 divided by VCC. So here, when V0 is equal to VCC, okay, means the AC output power that should be near to DC voltage. Means here you can write efficiency maximum is pi/4, means 78.5%. Okay, for the class A, what is the efficiency here? 25%. The maximum efficiency for the class B over here, 78%. Understood? After that, you take power dissipation. Power dissipation means power consumption. You take difference in input power and output power, then simplify here. Okay, then what will get here? Power dissipation equation. Two VCC square divided by pi square into RL. This is the power dissipation maximum. Okay, maximum power dissipation for the class B, that is 2 into VCC square divided by pi square into RL. So next you take individual power dissipation equation is how much here? VCC square divided by pi square into RL. Okay, here total power antha multiply by 2. Individual transfer power means you have to neglect the 2. Only you can write the equation VCC square divided by pi square into RL. Understood? Then you take one problem here. So here question is, it is required to design the class B amplifier to deliver an average power of 20 watt at an 8 ohm load. Okay, what is the output power here? 20 watt. What is the load resistance value here? 8 ohm. The power supply is to be selected such that VCC is about 5 voltage greater than the peak output voltage. So VCC is what here? It is greater than the output voltage, the AC output voltage. This avoids the transfer saturation and the associated nonlinear distortion, allows for the including short circuit protection circuit. Okay, determine the supply voltage required. The question is, we want to find out the supply voltage here. Okay, we want to find out the supply voltage, then peak current drawn from the each supply, each transistor current you have to find out here, then total power supply, then power conversion efficiency, and also determine the maximum power that each transistor must be able to dissipate safely. You have to find out the each transistor power consumption, current, total power supply, then supply voltage that you have to find out. Okay, what are the given parameters here? Output power is 20 watt, load resistance is 8 ohm, VCC value is 5 volt, it is greater than the AC voltage. First to take PL, other output power equation. What is the output power equation here? 1 by 2 V naught square divided by RL. Okay, this one the AC voltage. Okay, so wherever V naught square is there, that's nothing but RMS value. First to find out V naught square. Okay, so V naught to take this equation here. Okay, so V naught to take it outside here. In this, you take PL equation, V naught to take it outside. Okay, after taking, what is the V naught equation here? Square root of 2 PL into RL. Okay, square root of 2 PL into RL. What is PL value? What is the given power equation? Output power 20 watt. What is load resistance? 8 ohm. Okay, how much you want now? V naught 17.9. Okay, this 17.9 volt is greater than the VCC value. So for that, you have to take VCC as 23 voltage. See here, VCC is about 5 voltage. Okay, see the question here. VCC, the given 5 voltage, that should be greater than the peak output voltage, andre output voltage, VRMS. Okay, so how much you got here? VRMS 17.9. Okay, you have to choose VCC as a greater than the 17.9. Okay, so here they are going to select VCC as a 23 voltage. Understood? Why they have taken 23? So you have to take VCC that should be greater than the output voltage, output RMS output voltage. Next, the question is, we want to find out the current. Okay, current from the each transistor. Okay, for that to take according to Ohm's law, you take AC current now. I naught is equal to V naught by RL. What you got? V naught here 17.9. What is load resistance? 18. So you got AC current 2.24 amps. Okay, 2.24 amps is the AC output current from each transistor. Then each supply provide the current waveform half sinusoidal. The average current drawn from the each supply, that is I naught divided by pi. Okay. Suppose if we take an average, because they are using two transistor, right? PNP and NP. If you combine these two current and make it average here, okay. So if you make it average here, what is the equation now? Can write now 1 divided by pi. Okay, I naught into VCC. Okay, you have to find out the average power supply. Okay, so there is a PNP and NPN transistor. Okay, so for that you have to take average power supply here. So for that you can write PS plus is equal to PS minus. Okay, PS plus for the NPN transistor, PS minus for the PNP transistor. Okay, that should be equal to what here? Average. Okay, average, that is 1 by pi into I naught into VCC. Okay, so simplify this one here. How much you got? Each supply voltage, so supply power 16.4 watt. Okay, PS, so should be equal to PS minus, it is 16.4 watt. And the each transfer power consumption. Okay, for the average. Suppose for the total power 16 plus 6, 16.4 into 16.4 on the extra 32.8. Okay, means if you combine both transfer power here, okay, each transfer power how much here? 16.4. If you combine this one here, how much you got here? 16.4 plus 16.4, that is 32.8. Okay, suppose if you combine the both transfer power here, you'll get 32.8 watt. Now we can find out the power efficiency here. Okay, that is PL divided by PS. Okay, PL divided by PS. What is PL given? 20 watt. What is obtained input here? 32.8 multiplied with 100 here, you'll get 61% efficiency. Okay, how much you got here? Power efficiency 61%. Okay, what is the minimum efficiency for the class B? 50%. Okay, what is the maximum efficiency here? 75%. Understood? See here, the given graph, right? What is minimum here? 50%. Maximum is 78.5%. In question, how much you got here? 61%. Okay. Suppose when you come for the maximum power efficiency, okay, what is the formula here? VCC square divided by pi square into R. Okay, when you come for the maximum power dissipation, okay, maximum power consumption for the class B amplifier, what is the equation? VCC square divided by pi square into RA. So what is VCC square here? 23. Okay, this was selected VCC value. Okay, but to select the VCC greater than the output voltage, AC output voltage. So 23 is the greater than the AC voltage. So 23 whole square divided by pi square into 8. So how much you got here? Maximum power 6.7 watt. Okay, 6.7 is the maximum watt. Minimum is how much here? So minimum means we can take 50% here. Maximum means we can take 61% for this problem. Understood? So next to take class AB. Understood this problem? This is very important here. In exam they can ask 6 to 8 parts here. Understood? So all of you go through this problem here. So next to take class AB out stage. Okay, next you can take topic here, class AB. Okay, class AB amplifier. What is the output curve? What is the output curve for the class AB? Lakshmi Priyanka.
Yes, sir.
What is the output of the class AB? What is the efficiency of the class AB? How we got the class AB output waveform? Sunidhi. Sunidhi KR.
Yes, sir.
What is the output waveform of the class AB amplifier? Saista.
Yes, sir.
What is the output waveform? Class AB. See this waveform. Before only I told, right? What are the different waveform for the different power amplifiers? Have you seen that one? In first class only I told, right? See, this is the class AB output. Okay, what is the class A here? You get a full cycle, that is 360-degree cycle. Class B means you get a half cycle. Okay, class AB means you get a greater than the 180 but less than the 360. Okay, What is the output waveform of the class AB? Greater than the 180-degree cycle and less than the 360-degree cycle, because Q point is located at the higher side of the DC load line. Okay, Q point is located at the higher side of the DC load line. So for that, we get a waveform above the 180-degree and below the 360. See here, almost we're getting a complete positive cycle, but negative cycle it is clipped off. Okay, negative cycle is clipped off. Only we're getting a less number of negative voltage. We are not getting a complete negative peak here. Okay, that's why Q point is located at the higher side of the DC load line. Okay, what about class C here? Class C is very small signal. That should be less than the 180-degree cycle, because they have taken Q point below the x-axis. Understood? This was a small signal output. So that is the difference between class AB and class C. So next you take class AB now. First to take circuit diagram. So this is the circuit diagram here. Total how many transistors are there here? 2 transistors. Which are those? Which are the different transistors here? NPN and PNP. Okay. NPN and PNP. NPN means what here? It's for positive voltage. PNP for what here? It's a negative voltage. Understood? So here they have taken emitter and emitter. Okay, emitter and emitter, it is shorted here. Then they have taken as output here. Okay, emitter and emitter, it is shorted here. Then they have taken as output, that is AC output voltage. Okay, output side they have connected on load resistance, output resistance. So here they have taken plus VCC and minus VCC. Okay, collector side they have taken plus VCC and minus VCC. For the base side, they have taken 2 voltages, DC voltages. Okay, 2 DC voltages, that is VBB by 2, VBB by 2. See here, the positive DC supply, it is connected where here base of the NPN. Positive DC supply, it is connected where here base of the NPN transistor. Negative DC supply, it is connected where here PNP of the base. Okay, PNP of the base, because PNP it will take negative voltage for the conduction. Okay, then NPN for what here? NPN for what here? Positive voltage. So take positive DC supply, correct for the base of the NPN. So take negative of the DC supply. So connect for the base of the PNP. Understood? Next, this is the circuit diagram here. Okay. So I apply AC voltage or DC voltage also here, because we are applying both AC and DC for the input of the NPN and PNP. The main thing is we want to like the DC supply terminals. Okay, positive of the DC for the PNP base, negative of the DC, that is for the PNP. So next you take equations here. So here crossover distortion can be virtually eliminated by the bias complementary output transistor at a small non-zero current. So what you taken in the class B, that is crossover distortion output, right? That is the drawback here. Okay, that drawback you can eliminate from the class AB amplifier. Understood? Here we can eliminate the crossover distortion. Okay, by using the biasing method for the NPN transistor and PNP transistor, because for the NPN, PNP, they are given DC supply, right? So by applying the DC supply, we can eliminate the crossover distortion. Understood? So class AB output almost will get a greater than the 180 and less than the 360-degree cycle. So when I come for the DC supply for the NPN and PNP transistor here, okay, here you have to take 2 conditions. When Vi is 0, output is 0. Okay, when Vi is 0, output is 0. But you have to take average of the DC supply, okay, for the base emitter of the NPN transistor and PNP transistor. Understood? So for that, you can write the current equation for the NPN transistor and PNP transistor. That should be equal to DC current. Okay. See, like given right, IN is equal to IP. Andre NPN current and PNP current should be equal to DC current from the DC supply. That is IQ. So you can write the DC current equation now. IS reverse saturation current multiplied by the e to the power of VBB by 2 into VT. Okay, so we are increasing the DC current with respect to biasing voltage, that is VBB by 2. Okay, because I have connected two DC supply for the circuit, right? One DC supply for the NPN, one DC supply for the PNP. Understood? That's why we are increasing the DC current exponential VBB by 2 into VT. VT ಅಂದ್ರೆ it's a thermal voltage. Okay, VT stands for what here? It's a thermal voltage. The value of VBB. Okay, the value of VBB nothing but a what here? IB. So IQ thing but a DC current here. Okay, this DC current is directly proportional to base voltage DC supply. Okay, remember this one. Okay, VBB it produces the DC current for the class AB amplifier. Understood? So here you take circuit operation here. When AC voltage is positive, means AC input voltage is positive here. Okay, Q1 becomes an on condition. Okay, Q1 becomes on condition here. QP becomes an off condition, and the NPN transistor becomes on condition. PNP transistor becomes a off condition. In this condition, you have to apply the KVL. Okay, apply the KVL. Okay, so you take VIS positive voltage here. Okay, apply the DC supply. Then you take NPN in on condition. Then you apply the KVL. Okay, KVL means what here? Plus VI. Okay, then plus VBB by 2 minus VBN, then minus V0. Okay, minus V0 to take it outside. So what will get here? VI plus VBB by 2 minus VBN. Understood? So for this positive output voltage causes the positive current across the NPN transistor through the load resistance. So this positive current increases, okay, based on the current from the NPN transistor, PNP transistor and load current. Okay, here IN means the positive current increases. Okay, combination of the PNP current plus load current here, because we are applying the DC supply, right? So by applying the DC supply, we can eliminate the crossover distortion. Okay, for the increasing positive current, you have to take the combination of the IP and IN. You come for this circuit here. Once you got the current from the NPN here, it's a combination of the what here? IP plus IN. Okay, that is case here. Okay, IN is equal to what now? Means IN current is flowing across the PNP transistor and some of the current goes to load resistor. Okay, that's why you take now IN is equal to IP plus IN. Okay, so current is dividing here. Some of the current goes to PNP transistor, some of the current goes to load resistance from the NPN transistor. So for that you can write IN is equal to IP plus IN. So this IN will be increases, okay, based on the VBN voltage. Okay, VBN means what here? It's a forward bias voltage. Understood? So this VB is going to be area VBB by 2. So as VBB2 increases here, okay, VBN also increases and IN also increases. Understood? Same thing we can take now for the PNP also. Okay, PNP also we can write the equation here. Here they have taken equal voltage for the PNP and NPN. So for that, we'll get a VBP voltage for the IP. Okay, VBN for the IN. So you can take the combination of the VBB for the VBN and VBEP. Okay, VBEP. Okay, VBEP means VBP. It's a PNP transistor. VBN for the NPN transistor. And then, so here what to taken base to voltage, that should be equal to where here VBN plus VBP. Okay, so VBE for the NPN transistor, VB for the PNP transistor. That is the combination of the complete applied voltage. We have what here? It's a biasing voltage, applied voltage. So you can write the VBEN equation, that is VT ln IN divided by IS plus VT ln IP is. Okay, you have to write the forward bias voltage for the NPN and PNP. What is the forward bias voltage? Now, thermal voltage ln of NPN current divided by reverse saturation current plus combination of the same PNP transistor. Thermal voltage ln IP means it's a PNP current divided by reverse saturation current. It should be equal to what here? You can take VBB as forward bias voltage for the both PNP and NPN. So for that you can write 2. Okay, we are applying the VBB for two transistor, right? So for that you can take 2. 2 means it's a 2 transistor. VT ln of DC current divided by reverse saturation. Okay, VBB andre no DC, right? So for that you can take IQ as a DC current divided by the reverse saturation current. Then simplify here. Okay, then simplify this term here. We get IN into IP divided by IQ square. Okay, after simplification, what we'll get here? IN into IP should be equal to IQ square. So IN increases, IP decreases by this ratio of the product. Okay. See here, IN you take it outside here. What will get here? IQ square divided by IP. So IN increases, IP decreases by the product of DC current. Understood? Same thing they given for the equation number 12.25. It is 12.25. This one. You take IN equation. What is IN here? IP plus IL. Okay, you take IN is equal to IP plus IL here. Then you take IN into IP. That should be equal to IQ square. Combine these two equation. Okay, IN and INP. IN IP equal to IQ square means you combine these two equation here, you get this equation IN square plus IN minus IQ square, that should be equal to 0. Understood? So this is the total equation. Okay, total equation here. So this one is the quadratic equation. Okay, I have to simplify this one here. Understood? Here they are not given any simplification here. You just combine these two here. Okay, this one is the quadratic equation. Okay. So what it indicate this equation here? Here you can see the positive voltage across the load current from the NPN transistor. Okay, because it acts as a emitter follower circuit. NPN transistor it acts as what here? NPN transistor. What about PNP transistor here? It acts as a negative voltage. Okay, means we can decrease the voltage. Decreasing antandre negative voltage, increasing antandre positive voltage. Okay, so here you take positive voltage for NPN transistor, negative voltage for the PNP transistor. Okay, that is the meaning of this equation. Understood? IN square minus IL into IN minus I square is equal to 0. Understood? This is the complete equation for the class AB. Okay, class AB is what here? The output is greater than the 180 but less than the 360. Okay, greater than the 180 means that is NPN transistor. Okay, less than the 360 means PNP transistor. Okay, so greater than the NPN means greater than the 180 means the NPN transistor is responsible. Less than the 360 means PNP transistor responsible. Okay, that is the meaning of that equation, final equation. Next, to take transfer characteristics here for the class AB. So here output voltage increases here. Okay, as input voltage increases. Okay, that is linear condition. Okay, after finishing linear condition here, we'll go for the saturation. In saturation, you'll get a maximum output voltage VCC minus VCE saturation for the NPN transistor. Same thing you take it now. Linear condition for the PNP and saturation condition for the PNP. What is the maximum PNP voltage here? Minus VCC plus VEC saturation. Okay, this is the transfer characteristics. In exam, you write both transfer characteristics, circuit diagram, then output wave. Okay. Then you take last one here. What is that? Class C amplifier. Okay, you take difference here, difference between the different amplifier here. Okay, for the x-axis they have taken conduction angle. Okay, for the x-axis what they have taken here, conduction angle. For the y-axis they have taken efficiency. Okay, here this diagram they're not given in textbook here in syllabus. You just go through this for notes. For the x-axis they have taken conduction angle, y-axis they have taken efficiency. See here, for the class A amplifier, power amplifier, it will take 360-degree cycle. Means we'll get a full cycle, conduction cycle. What is the efficiency here? Near 25%. Then 270 conduction angle for the class AB. Okay, class AB is for output to 270 because greater than the 180, less than the 360, other 270 baro. Okay, what is the efficiency now here? 50%. Okay, 25 to 50%. Then 180 conduction angle for the class B amplifier. Okay, what is the efficiency here? 50 to 75%. Then conduction angle for class C for what here? 90. Okay, for the class C conduction angle is 90 here. The efficiency is what here? How much? Almost near to 80%. Okay, not complete 100% here. Class D, suppose if you take a class D power amplifier, that should be equal to 100%. That is distal pulses. Okay, 0-degree conduction angle, but you'll get a distal pulses. Okay, that is not for your syllabus here, but only they will take these 3-4 amplifiers. Class A, Class AB, Class B, Class C. Class C for 80% efficiency, 90-degree conduction. Class B for the 180-degree conduction angle, efficiency is 50 to 75. Then class AB 270 conduction angle, efficiency is 50%. Then class A is 25%, conduction is 360-degree cycle. Understood? For the next class, we start with the class C. Okay. For the next class, we start with the class C tuned amplifier. Okay, here you can change the waveform.